Wonderful.
And Gil we found on the street corner, and he said he'd work for food, so we brought him into the studio.
As long as it's good food, not just any food.
Exactly. Oh, so now you're going to be picky.
Exactly. See what I'm saying?
They ain't going to be picky about the workload.
Hungry and
Putting in
stuff.
good work.
And now they want to specify.
But he said he put in good work for good food.
But good food is different for different people.
But for Gil, it's going to be some good food.
I need some of that soul food.
Some of that
talk to you.
Some of that talk to you, mac and cheese.
When you pick the mac and cheese up, it got to drip a little bit.
It's got a drizzle. Okay.
That's center food.
You might want to leave now because it's some cheese on that table, but it ain't no mac to go with it. So.
No, today's my raw day, so I've been eating vegetables all day today.
Oh, good for you. You have raw days?
Yeah, raw days.
Every Saturday or
Every
Sunday?
Saturday.
Or
Fridays are my day to fast from sun up to sundown. Got to keep my girlish figure,
Oh, Lord, have mercy. And then Monday you go ape crazy because of what you did
I
already.
already don't eat red meats or pork or anything, so it's just chicken and fish for me. I'm on a pretty good diet.
All right. You a fat boy gone fit or what?
No, I'm just trying to.
Never been fat.
Never been fat.
Yeah, he don't know what it's like. He can't relate.
I don't even have big bones in my body.
Yeah, my bones ain't even big. Like, twig snapping in a minute.
But I woke up like this.
But yeah, I gotta keep my body in order. It's not always about what your body looks like. It's always about what it feels like too. So
until you get married.
What in the world?
Everybody gains weight when they get married. I don't know why.
My mom calls that happy weight.
Yeah, there's something, but it happens. You get settled down, you get comfortable.
You get a routine.
You don't get all,
you gotta change it from happy
chasing,
weight to it just happens.
You sort of have to try to look a certain part because you want to attract a certain type of person. But then after you have caught that person, sometimes it's like, the chase is over. Just like
whip that wig off right there, pull them eyelashes off,
take off the Spanx, all of that, and then
Right. They were like, hold my teeth.
I don't know about that.
Right. You wake up next to, excuse me, have you seen my wife? I don't know who you're talking about. I am your wife. Wait a minute. Wait, let me put my voice box in. Is that better, darling?
She used to be that 1-900 sex operator, but then she got married.
If you like to call and find out how I can entertain you, dial 877-342-7770. Do you want me to talk dirty to you or not?
It's a little too sexy.
That's not talking dirty.
That's the truck driver's 1-900 number. That's the one they use.
But see, it kills two birds with one stone. It stops you from smoking, and it stops you from having sex.
Yeah, there you go.
Celibate forever.
Birth control. There we go. Mm-hmm. Growing communities. So we're back.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the topics? What are the topics? What is your influence on your show?
So Growing Communities is a platform where business owners and independent artists could come and talk a little bit about how what they do impacts the community. Give some insight on what kind of service or products they provide.
Okay.
And hopefully be able to provide some value to the audience.
Excellent. Yeah. I kind of feel like we've talked about your services before with Growing Communities, and it almost makes me think of TripAdvisor. When you see a TripAdvisor placard on there, you can go to TripAdvisor and find out what the ratings are, what the reviews are, and things like that. Mm-hmm. Except you're giving a TripAdvisor vocal platform. Here's my company. Here's my scorecard and how I impact the community. We don't just sell cake pops, but for every cake pop you buy, 10 cents goes to Parks and Recreation or something like that, to that effect.
Yes and no. So the premise is that every business owner impacts their community in some way, right? And it impacts the growth and the stability of that community. And regardless of if the business owner thinks about it or not, there is an impact. So the show itself, so for the people who haven't thought about that, the show itself could provide them with a chance to actually change their perspective on their business.
How can my cake pop business impact the community?
Well, by providing your cake pop, you might be hiring someone, right?
Employing people.
Right. So there's employment. You might donate to schools, for example, for events. So there's that impact in there. And there's also just mentoring and teaching.
Keeping the community fat.
Absolutely. That
She
helps.
said absolutely.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
Keep them
It
fat.
helps.
So then I employ the trainers.
Right.
Then I become personal trainer so I can sell cake pops by day and do fitness boot camps at night.
Well, okay. So fat is not necessarily a bad thing. You know, there's a comfort there. That means we're good. We're happy together.
Oh, that's what that is. Oh, okay. My mom said she called it happiness. Okay.
That's one perspective.
I gotta tell
Put that
somebody.
spin on there.
Gym membership. Be happy.
Yeah.
Happy together.
Exactly.
Also, the raw ingredients that are purchased by that
Yes.
cake pop
Yes.
manufacturer person, you have to get the raw ingredients from somebody. So if you buy within the community or buy local,
Farmers
buy
supply the
responsibly.
eggs and-
Exactly.
The distributors. Yeah, it's a chain reaction.
It's
a
just like
chain
real
reaction.
estate. When you buy a piece of property, you are employing attorneys, you're paying real estate brokers, you're paying handymen, you're paying appraisers, you're paying surveyors,
Landscapers,
so everybody
lawnmowers,
has
everything.
a
painters.
check, which is why when you see communities that build commercially and residentially, that community is thriving.
Yep.
That town is thriving because a lot of people now have been put to work, and now a lot of people can feed their families, which lowers the unemployment rate, which then creates money into the economy, which allows people to have lower goods and services.
Yeah,
So
like
just
you said,
like with
it's just a chain
entrepreneurship,
reaction.
it's a chain reaction. Several hands are involved, and you're creating opportunities for individuals that, under normal circumstances, would never have it. I was with my accountant doing end of year review, and she was sharing with me how the financial impact I've had on people's lives over the years, and where literally millions of dollars have come through my hands, out of my pocket, into the pockets of other people, so that they are able to better take care of their families and buy homes and buy cars and affect the world.
Provisions for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you look at it from that perspective, it's a different perspective other than just making money, but what are you doing with the money, and how many mouths are you feeding with the money, and how are you giving back, and who are you being a blessing to?
Well, and also, you know, a lot of us start out thinking about our own needs, right? Our immediate needs. Me, I want to get out of this job. I want my family life to be a certain way. I need some freedom. I need to go on vacation. And we're still sometimes focused on that I, right? Not realizing even while we're focusing on the I, there's a lot going on in the
Around.
community itself. Yeah.
Absolutely. I look at Jewish communities and Asian communities.
Yes.
They may be spread out,
Yeah.
but I promise, if you ever buy one wig from one shop, you could probably get it from all 4 other ones, and they all going home to the same house.
Exactly.
Like it literally
Keep it all in the
is
family.
all right there. There's one nail salon. I actually had an opportunity to talk to a salon owner, and they literally educate the women in Vietnam and bring them over as a group. They buy one home. They all live there. Like they literally create where their community. They recreate their community from wherever they came from, you know, to reestablish and grow. And there's typically 1 or 2 that are highlighters or that are have the
Leaders.
potential, right? And then they'll open up a second one. That person will be there. So they're creating their
Opportunities
empire,
for their
right?
entire-
Opportunity, but they're still in the same place until they get married and bring their mother over and their father, and what have you.
Well, that creates a support system too. Like a lot of times we're lacking that support system. So,
Absolutely.
you know, we might know, hey, I'm doing such great things and these are all the people I could impact, but I don't have anybody to go to. I don't have anybody who, you know, is a trail setter that I can ask a question to.
Right.
So that support is really important.
It's critical.
Yeah.
Mentors, coaches,
Yep.
people that you can glean from, because there's nothing new under the sun. And everybody out there is trying to believe that they're the only ones and that they're the first and
Right.
nobody has done it before them,
Right.
when that really is not the reality in most instances, because everything is a spinoff of something else. So we take something and we improve upon it and then patent it and then bring it to the market. but you had to get the genesis of that from someplace else.
Or if they get that education, get that status, they leave the town instead of educating there. Now I'm going to move to LA, Atlanta, New York, with what can literally impact your community and bring it up to the wealth, by support and establishment. But they take their knowledge and run.
And I think society has sort of deemed that as doing good, or you've made it.
You're right.
Because if you're still in the neighborhood and you got it going on, it's like, well, you haven't made it yet.
Yeah.
But once you pack up and leave and get the big house on the hill and things of that nature, well, Johnny has now done good.
Loaded up the truck and moved to Beverly.
He's left the neighborhood.
Yeah, it
So I think
becomes
that's that stigma.
I've made it instead of we've made it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then for other people, you were the one that was in the neighborhood robbing the neighbors. So obviously you don't want to get robbed, so you got to leave out because now you got some stuff that's worth taking. So it's like, I ain't getting up out of here.
Right.
You done robbed Mother Mary yesterday, and you done Susie the day before that. So I know you're gonna do me next week. So I'm gone.
I actually heard Cardi B was doing an interview, and they was like, what's your net worth now? She was like, I can't talk about that. I still go back to the hood. So she was like, we're not going to talk about that.
That's right.
So,
Well, I spoke to last year. I was speaking to a gentleman, and he owns 59 companies, and he does coaching. And I met him at an event, and I was asking him, why do you do coaching? And it was very interesting to me why he was doing coaching. He said, it's my duty to do it. He's like, I'm not doing it to make money. I have businesses that generate the money for me. It's my duty to give back because somebody helped me get to where I am. And I found it very interesting because a lot of times, especially when you grow up poor, you don't have an abundance mindset. So you think, well, I need. And then when I get it, well, they're trying to take it away from me instead of not realizing if you channel, you get more. So that was really interesting to me.
excellent.
Yeah.
But they are trying to take it away from you is the reality of it, because when you make it big and you got money, all the cousins now come out the woodwork.
Another problem.
You ain't never been at a family reunion. I ain't never seen you, but all of a sudden you my uncle. It's like
Uncle Business. Hey guys, it's Uncle Business.
wait a minute, you ain't been at none of the birthdays, Christmases, or anything else, but now I get money and now you want to befriend me and be my best friend and be my relative.
Yeah,
so
another
they
thing
try
is
to take it from you.
They also get money and then don't know what to do with it and spend it all in the wrong places. That's another problem.
Well,
that they
Dr. Business, this is where I'm going to say that's where the giving back as being a coach comes into play and not giving back dollars.
Right.
Because
You
if
teach them how.
Teach them how to
Right.
fish.
If
Right.
they don't know how to make the money, they're just going to spend it, right?
Correct.
So the cousin can come
But
to the barbecue.
But those people, though,
Yeah.
they don't want to learn how to fish. They just want the fish. And that's the problem. It's the changing of the mindset.
What you say? What you say? Dun, dun, dun. I know.
Turn off mic 4, please. Nip this right in the bud.
That's a valid point. It's the truth.
It is. Gil, what are you doing with your millions?
With my millions, I wish I was making millions right about now.
If you were, what would you be doing with
If
it?
I was making millions right now, I would be doing a lot for the community. I want to open up like boys and girls centers for younger kids that are in like impoverished areas that can like actually take their efforts and do a little more with them. Maybe if it's sports, if they're actually good at one specific thing, because I feel like school isn't necessarily for smart people. They just cram you in there and throw a bunch of curriculum at you and tell you you got to learn everything, but they don't focus on what people are actually good at. You know what I mean?
Is
So-
it for smart people or to make people smart?
See, that's the thing. Like, I don't feel like school is for everyone. That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, like
Up to a certain grade?
Yes.
Or just like
No,
you don't
not-
go to elementary school?
no, not all school. Not all school. I'm just.
Isn't there like a certain
He and
minimum?
Dirt, he don't need to go to
I
school.
feel like
You know,
I feel like
reading and writing,
Right,
certain
right.
basics you need to
Exactly.
know
You
how
gotta
to
learn
count
it.
1 + 1.
But you don't even necessarily need school to do that. If you had homeschooling by parents that are actually willing
But that's still schooling.
That's still schooling, though.
Yeah.
So there's a certain minimum standard of education
Yes.
that a person needs in order to function and read contracts and make business decisions and balance checkbooks.
Yes, that. But
So
I feel
school
like
is
public
good for something.
Yes, but public school doesn't teach you how to be an adult.
It's not supposed to. That's your parents' job.
Okay.
That's the gang member's job.
I got you.
That's Tupac's.
Exactly. Right. The people who raise you, because some people are raised by the gangs.
That's Tupac's All
Some
Eyes
people
on
are
Me
raised
CD.
by the streets. So whoever's raising you, that's their responsibility to teach you how to go from boys to men type
Gotcha,
thing.
gotcha.
So they're trying to teach you how to be a man, how to pee on a tree and stuff like that, so that you can enter into your manhood.
We don't have to worry about that tomorrow.
Yeah, that's why
That
one
wasn't
reason.
for us.
He's a tree.
That's one reason. I'm
Clearly,
understand.
1 out of 2 up here do evidently.
You ain't a man unless you do. It's a rite of
Gil, you
passage.
peed on the tree?
several times.
Okay.
It's a rite of passage. Every
Now that he
man
didn't say
has.
you ain't a man till you do, Gil was like,
man has.
I'll be right back. That back door open.
Tree out here. I gotta take
I
care
learn
of.
something new every day.
I'm telling you. That's right. You ain't a man unless you do it.
Well, okay then. Well, I'm so glad for femininity.
You guys don't have that
No,
accessible
not a
option, though.
requirement. It's not a requirement. I'm good. I know who I am without peeing on trees. I am confident in her.
But then when you get peed on, that's a whole different level of
That right
Well,
there.
yeah.
I believe that everyone,
that the whole group
but wait, I'm gonna fix it. Everyone that has ever encountered a child in changing a diaper has possibly been peed on.
I have
Don't go directly to Robert.
Yeah.
Possibly. Dr. Business says when. Like, it's inevitable.
like it is.
It's
Exactly.
going to happen.
If you live long enough.
You're changing the diapers. You gonna get peed upon. How many times you jumped in a pool cannonball and you
Exactly.
just jumped in pee? You didn't even know.
I don't do public pools.
Now you don't.
Nah,
Even as a child?
I'm a germaphobe.
Did you have the little kiddie pool? Your friends came over?
I don't know.
I was
you
gonna
have
say
a
they peed in that either.
I did.
A very
Any
clean
knee
one.
I know. Girl in the plastic bubble.
Bicycles.
Very neat and clean.
Yeah. No.
She didn't.
Okay. Germ.
So, 3 out of 4 people have been peed upon.
Survey says.
So if I do this,
That
is that
bother
okay?
you?
That bother you?
I'm getting
She's mantra in her head. She's like,
I know.
one and
Trying to
two.
hyperventilate. I know.
She feng shui. As soon as the camera goes,
Where's the hand sanitizer?
I'm getting better.
I will never wear this jacket again. It has been touched upon.
touched upon.
Exactly.
You don't know where Dr. Business hands have ever been, so I will tell you. He that trees on peas has no water to wash his hands, says
They have leaves.
Confucius.
There you go. There you go. See? It's all
You should
good.
say, man, no tree has full bladder.
Exactly. And watch the tree bloom. That's right.
Oh my goodness.
One sees, another waters.
Anyway,
And God gets the increase.
how can people get in contact with you to find out more about your broadcast platform?
They could look at the Facebook page. It's called Growing Communities Show. And it's actually Growing Communities Show. And I think there's parenthesis that says on WDRBmedia.
Excellent. And day and time it airs?
And it airs on Sundays at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Excellent. And Gil, you're a barber.
Yes, ma'am.
I could
am.
tell. You do your own?
Yes, I do.
Man, that's cleaner than the Board of Health right there. How can people contact you for barber services?
For my barber services, you can contact me on Instagram, cuts_by Gills. This is Z at both of those.
See, spell it.
Cuts CUTZ
Ebonically spelled.
_ BYGILLZ.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Family, don't go anywhere. You're tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on WDRB Media.
The voice of the community. You gonna do my edges?
I got you. I do eyebrows too. You see these things.
Why my eyebrows?
I didn't say all that. I was just giving
You
you.
literally said
I know.
I could get your edges, but your
Eyebrows.
eyebrows.
And your mustache. I got something
like
for
an
you.
owl right now. Look like,
Damn you, man.